love vinyl records. Collecting is one of my favorite hobbies, scouring record stores, looking for that album or artist that catches my eye. Just spending hours flipping through old boxes, the smell of decades of dust wafting over me. The memories of those who loved and listened prior. Every scratch and crackle is just a portal into another's experience. Music connects people. It stitches generations together.
Record stores have always been kind of a hub, a place to discover music, a place to meet friends, a place to meet like-minded people.
Get my excess money. Records for $2. Look, you obviously didn't get anything in. Scorpions. Last row of new arrivals. Everything else we've already looked at. Usually the good stuff's in there.
Well, at the time, the only music I wanted to listen to was not on record. Or was not on CD, or there was no streaming. There was like iTunes was just coming around. But I had a friend that was getting me in a lot of like punk and hardcore, and the only way to listen to that was to get records, and it didn't exist outside of just a record. It wasn't reissued on CD at the time, and there was no streaming, and even iTunes didn't have most things, I would say.
I mean, I grew up with vinyl. My mom played records when I was growing up. I listened to the Beatles and the Stones, and my mom was kind of progressive, so like when kind of, not necessarily punk, but when it became new wave, she bought Blondie and Duran Duran and The Clash, and so I grew up around records, and so it seemed like a format that would be cool for me. As I started developing my own taste, CDs and cassettes were the primary thing, and then I moved here to Spokane. I started going to 4,000 Holes, which was a new record store at that time, and almost all of the punk rock stuff that I was interested in, the stuff coming out of Seattle, the grunge bands, was easier to get on vinyl than it was on any other format. So I started picking up vinyl that way.
Record sales, vinyl, those sales are soaring. And you know the vinyl spinning discs that your mom and dad or maybe your grandmother and grandpa used to listen to, it's become a big deal.
Streaming and digital downloads have made it more convenient than ever to be a music fan, but convenience isn't everything. Sales are up more than 50% this year for vinyl records.
Whether it's the Jaws soundtrack on cassette, maybe you want a little Miles Davis, maybe you want Sabrina Carpenter. They have a little bit of everything out here, and the reason they have it is because physical media is back. In the day and age where people are streaming movies, they're streaming albums, people want to hold the things that they're paying for. It's a crazy concept.
Why is vinyl making a comeback?
Young folks that come in here and they buy tapes. Like, same with CDs. CDs have a resurgence right now too. I feel like vinyl though it feels more like an original format. When the modern era of music began, it came out on vinyl. So we're talking like 75 years of vinyl at this point. I think that people just understand that that's the way that it's meant to be.
It's a lot more fun to hold something in your hand rather than stare at a screen, you know? And the screen's, however big your phone screen is versus, 12 by 12 cover is super cool.
It's funny because I will run into people and they're like, I hear vinyl's like coming back. And I'm like, it's been back for quite a while. In fact, it's outselling every other form of media, I believe. And percentage-wise, it's the fastest growth. And I really think it has a lot to do with a backlash against streaming and not having access on demand.
My first store was in 2012, and it's just the demand was not what it was like now. I think it's so much more. When I was growing up, I didn't know people besides my group of friends that liked punk, and we would go to record stores. But I think by and large, the people in my school did not go to record stores. That was not a thing people did, and it was not I never heard about anyone doing that. And besides my circle of friends, and I had to go the closest record store to me was 35 or 40 miles. And here in town now, there's so many record stores. There's 5, 6, I don't know, whatever, just all within 5 or 10 miles of each other at the most, And there's so many things, people walk here all the time that just live in the neighborhood, and I wouldn't even know what that's like to be able to grow up like that. I think it's super, super cool, to be able to go somewhere close and buy records.
Just the same feeling that I constantly come back to, which is just this this warmth of being in a space that I know is cherished by so many people that I'm similar to, like-minded individuals who like music in this way, who find a value in something so seemingly valueless in today's society. Own things. It's important to own things. Everything is so temporary. We rent where we live. We rent our shows, our entertainment. Maybe someday the narrative will change. Maybe we will return to physicality in the digital age. Maybe we won't. But I guess that's up to us.